Hello, welcome to the OAT Clinic educational program on Attention Deficit Disorder. Difficulties with focus are central to adult ADHD and significantly influence how other symptoms interact and manifest. Let me illustrate this dynamic with practical cases from my clinic.
I've been really struggling to focus, and it's affecting everything. I keep putting things off, and then I get this horrible anxiety because I'm running out of time. It's like I know I can do the work, but I just can't get started or stay on track.
That sounds incredibly frustrating, but it's not uncommon for ADHD patients to experience that pattern. Problems with focus are often at the heart of it. What happens is that you find it hard to concentrate long enough to take in information.
I'll be reading something, and suddenly I realize I've drifted off, or I'm thinking about something completely unrelated. Then later, I can't even remember what I was meant to be doing. It's like the information never really stuck in my mind.
Right. That's because when you can't sustain focus, your brain struggles to fully process and register the information in the first place. If you lose focus during that initial stage, those connections don't form properly. Our memory works a bit like a network, connecting new information to what we already know. It's as though the information only partially goes in, or it's taken in fragmented pieces without being properly stored and linked to other knowledge or past experiences. Later, when you try to retrieve that information, it's either incomplete, scattered, or difficult to find, like searching for a file that was never saved correctly or placed in the wrong folder.
I thought I had memory problems, but it's more like I never properly registered things in the first place.
When your memories feel incomplete or disorganized, it can create significant challenges in planning and structuring tasks. Imagine trying to assemble a puzzle, but half the pieces are missing or jumbled together without a clear picture to follow. This is often what it feels like for ADHD patients when approaching a task. Because key details weren't fully processed or stored in an organized way, it becomes difficult to recall the necessary steps or sequence required to complete the task. You might sit down to work on something but feel overwhelmed because you're unsure where to start. Without a clear roadmap, even simple tasks can feel chaotic. You may find yourself jumping between different aspects of the project, second-guessing your approach, or feeling stuck in indecision. This lack of structure makes it even harder to sustain focus, leading to frustration and avoidance. Additionally, because the brain hasn't linked the task to a strong memory network, breaking it down into manageable steps becomes difficult. You may understand the big picture, but struggle with the execution, as if the instructions are blurred or incomplete. This often results in delays, procrastination, or an urge to abandon the task altogether.
I'll have this great idea, but when I try to make it happen, it's like my brain freezes. I don't know what step comes first or how to break it down, so I end up just avoiding it.
That's procrastination, a very common outcome of difficulties with planning and organization. However, the longer it's delayed, the more the pressure builds, especially as deadlines approach. As the available time shrinks, anxiety sets in, creating a cycle of stress and avoidance. You may feel a growing sense of urgency, but because the task still feels just as unclear or disorganized, starting it remains difficult. This cycle, struggling to start, delaying due to uncertainty, and then dealing with overwhelming anxiety, is a key reason why ADHD often leads to feelings of underachievement, despite intelligence and capability. When a task feels overwhelming or unclear, the natural response is to put it off, not necessarily out of laziness, but because your brain struggles to break it down into manageable steps. This can lead to a last-minute rush to complete the work, often resulting in substandard outcomes or excessive stress. In some cases, the anxiety becomes so intense that it further disrupts focus, making it even harder to complete the task efficiently.
The anxiety is terrible. My heart races and I get this tight feeling in my chest. It's like I know I'm running out of time, but that just makes it harder to stop.
For many people with ADHD, That anxiety doesn't just stay internal. It often finds an outlet through physical restlessness or excessive talking. It's almost as if the brain, overwhelmed by the pressure of an unfinished task or an impending deadline, seeks a way to release that built-up tension. This can manifest as fidgeting, pacing, tapping, or feeling an uncontrollable urge to move. In social situations, this same anxiety can lead to rapid or excessive speech, sometimes without even realizing it. For some, this hyperactivity can provide temporary relief, like a pressure valve releasing steam. You might find yourself talking more than usual, interrupting conversations, or struggling to slow down your thoughts. It's not necessarily because you're excited or enthusiastic, but rather because your brain is in overdrive, trying to process the stress and discomfort of feeling stuck. However, it can also make it harder to regain focus, further compounding the cycle of procrastination, anxiety, and difficulty with task completion.
Sometimes I feel like I can't stop moving, or I just keep talking, even though I know I should be working. But it's like my brain won't let me sit still and focus.
That's a classic pattern. Over time, it can start to have a noticeable impact on your productivity and the way others perceive you. People might recognize your creativity, your quick thinking, or your ability to generate innovative ideas. They may even describe you as bright or talented. However, they may also begin to notice a disconnect between your potential and your output. You might frequently start projects with enthusiasm, but struggle to see them through to completion. Tasks may be left half-finished or deadlines missed despite your best intentions. This can give others the impression that you are unreliable or disorganized, even though you know you are capable. The frustration is often twofold. You are aware of your abilities and the quality of work you can produce, but you feel trapped by your difficulties with focus, planning, and follow-through. Over time, this can lead to feelings of underachievement and self-doubt, as you see others progressing while you feel stuck, despite knowing you have the potential to excel.
People say I'm talented, but I can tell they get frustrated when I don't deliver. It makes me feel like I'm letting everyone down.
I understand. It can feel incredibly difficult and disheartening at times, but recognizing this pattern is a crucial first step. Awareness allows us to begin breaking that cycle of procrastination, anxiety, and overwhelm. We can work together to develop strategies that will help you manage your focus more effectively and reduce that buildup of pressure. This might involve exploring practical techniques, such as breaking tasks into smaller, more manageable steps, using external reminders, or setting up a structured routine that supports your concentration. We can also look at adjustments to your work style, finding ways to play to your strengths, like harnessing your creativity, while putting systems in place to support your areas of difficulty. For some people, we may also consider medication as part of the treatment plan, which can help improve attention and reduce that inner restlessness. The goal is to find the right combination of approaches that works for you, so you can begin to feel more in control and start turning your ideas into action.
That would be such a relief. I'm tired of feeling stuck all the time.
With the right support and a tailored approach, it is entirely possible to break free from this cycle, allowing your creativity and potential to translate into tangible results, while regaining a sense of control and confidence in both your work and daily life. How does it sound to you? Does that sound like a plan?